Alright, folks, something weird went on with my computer in the middle of the recording there. And unfortunately, part of my audio, my mic got muted for some reason. So I actually made some progress with Bryce, as you can see here, and I'll go ahead and replay you those things. The questions I asked that finally got a response was, where did you follow it? And that kind of started the whole series that we're going through here, and also finally got rid of the double asterisks on I don't have an extra hour yet. So here are those responses.
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me.
Okay, and then we asked about testing you.
I think that I'm becoming a good person, Doctor. I'm ashamed of some of the things I've done, but I'm getting better. The hooded figure, it's testing my morals. Judging me. For what? I don't know.
And then I asked about temptations and whatnot, and kind of deduced that we needed to ask about the individual temptations he named, so we asked about the bar brawl.
I split the brawl up.
Which was short and sweet, and then the open bedroom window.
I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside. Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette. I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
All right. I think there might have been another response that he gave us before that, but I can't remember. I may be thinking about testing you. Anyway, we have also asked about putting the sheets in the bath because there are asterisks there built into our genes, and an old woman to no effect. So we're just kind of drilling down on this open bedroom window. So maybe just pictures?
Don't know.
Or maybe you went inside?
No.
Yes, you've told me I have an interesting aura before. Okay, let's ask about the open till.
I did nothing. I'm not stealing anymore.
Good on ya. Alright, so that it just remains that there's more here. Did you know the old lady?
I don't know.
How about smoking?
I've nothing interesting to say about that.
You saved her life.
In simple terms, I've got nothing to say.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's go back down to, I guess, Dekker. Let's go ahead and take away everyone but Bryce here.
I spied on Doctor Dekker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
Okay, we asked about the basement, and that got us to him freeing a girl who was trapped there. You spied on Dekker?
I didn't get much sleep.
All right. Not sure there. Let's listen to this one.
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time.
You were uneasy with Dr. Dekker? Okay, that's still just the same thing then, isn't it?
I spied on Dr. Dekker.
Oh, it's that one. Gotcha.
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell. It was dark, and she was chained.
Who was the girl?
No, sorry.
Not sure about that either. How about Dekker had a girl in his basement?
I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though.
She was naked?
Don't know.
You dressed her?
No. I removed the chains, dressed...
You removed the chains?
No.
No evidence?
No, I didn't feel lustful, Doctor.
What?
I was angry. If I had taken pictures, there would at least been some evidence. A sicker man would have taken pictures and saved the day.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where in the hell that was going. So nothing further there. There's still this. Destroyed evils down to 1 asterisk, though. Let's, kind of reinforce him on that he's not evil. Why did you think it was me?
I don't know what you're getting at.
The military.
I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military.
How would they have known?
Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
Okay, that's definitely new information. As I said, though, how would the military know about you? And yes, I will do something for you.
Would you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her. And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
Okay, tell Jessica you love her and destroy the hard drive. The thing is, I can understand you wanting to leave messages and clean things up after something happens to you. The fact, though, that you spoke about that you loved her in past tense kind of makes me think you're planning suicide. Of course, that could just be my interest in mental health and my experiences with it bleeding through and coloring the situation, so maybe not. This may be too many keywords, but yes, I will tell Jessica that you love her.
Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected.
There's only 1 asterisk there, but I think we should encourage him to try to connect with Jessica.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females. But I'm still in awe of her, really. I will think about it, though.
It's the most human interaction that we've had with Bryce yet, I think. You mentioned a hard drive, sir.
There's a hard drive with all the pictures I've ever taken on it. The one in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Don't let Jessica see it.
All right. Regardless of what we would choose to do in the end, I don't think we need to upset him, so we won't let Jessica see it. Okay. Maybe we need to mention them by name. I promise I won't let Jessica see the hard drive. Okay, never mind. Are you having suicidal thoughts, Bryce?
Is that supposed to mean something?
Maybe, maybe not.
Would you tell Jessica? I love her. She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her. And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
Okay, maybe we don't need to assure him about not showing it to Jessica. Maybe we just need to reassure him that we will destroy the hard drive. Okay, maybe not. Drinks cabinet?
I've nothing interesting to say about that.
Alright, I don't know what else we could key on in that. Still these, though. I tell you what, this is dragging on with Bryce. Let's ask for a hint. Oh, we're supposed to be asking about this evidence. That's right. Well, I mean, we weren't actually instructed to do that, but, sure. You ever seen a paper spike in this office?
Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
All right. Pass through your hand?
In the last couple of sessions I had with him, he put the spike through his hand. He'd be grinning at me while he was doing it. No blood, no nothing. He tried to make me do the same, but I wouldn't.
All right, Bryce. As much as I would like to continue pounding away at what's going on here, I think I'm going to take a break from you for a little bit. And from what I've seen, we can bounce back and forth between patients, so we're going to do that. Let's talk with Claire for a while.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Okay. Playing outside?
I'm getting tired of all these questions. I'm getting tired of everything.
Okay, that was I don't have an answer for that, but you said you were tired?
Think, Doctor, think. Use your...
Okay, never mind. Let's see what we've got here. Well, only a single asterisk on that. I wonder if we can ask her about the arrest report.
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away.
Alrighty then. Well, there are a lot of things going on in the arrest report. However, I'm not really certain which direction we should go. Let's ask about the neighbor that reported to the police.
Sorry. I don't know.
Okay, it said Bauer House.
That's not relevant here.
Okay, maybe your neighbor reported you?
My neighbours seem far more interested in my business than they are their own. The lake house only has one house opposite, and it was on sale for some time. I suppose I should have bought it.
Okay. So, I mean, that was something, but there's still 2 asterisks on the arrest report. Let's ask about the police officers. Officer Weber?
Try asking me something I might know.
Officer Holt?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that.
There was blood everywhere?
It's a messy business, stabbing someone. You'd imagine that it would be like slicing into a pie with all the filling just slowly oozing out, but it's so much more dramatic, like popping a cork of a bottle of champagne. Blood sprayed everywhere.
Well, you hit an artery then. All right. Nothing further on that particular thing. You said you killed him.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Yes, you've told us about this. And that cleared out the arrest report. He's alive, you say?
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
I guess he's a zombie?
Yes, he did come back to life, but he's not a zombie. He looks like he always did. Just his mind is encumbered. There's no way back.
That sounds like a zombie to me. He came back to life?
I don't know what you're after, but I don't know anything about that. That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Okay, the keyword's got to be a funeral.
He's buried at Henley Church.
Really?
You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
Okay, so maybe we need that for Bryce. I bet he was the pallbearer. Oh, jeez. A pallbearer?
Bryce was a pallbearer for David.
Aha, it was him.
He's also a gravedigger, I believe.
Okay, let's ask about the headstone.
I don't know, Doctor.
Henley Church?
I don't know anything about that.
Alright, so those are not the keywords from this one.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
Yes, I will ask him.
I don't know what you're after, but I don't know anything about that.
Alright. Not really sure what else is in the funeral one there. Strange as it seems, I think this may be the key phrase.
I'm getting tired of all these questions.
Okay, it's absolutely not. Maybe I need to say I will go see for myself?
That's not relevant here.
Okay. Okay, so there was a funeral, there's a headstone, there was pallbearers, so how did... I don't know how to ask this. I want to ask how he got out of the grave. I guess I'll just ask that. Oh,
Think, Doctor.
not Grace. Grave.
I don't know, Doctor.
Okay, let's just stop trying to get keywords and ask the big question here. How did David come back to life?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that.
How is he alive? How is David still alive? Let's go back to Bryce here. Okay. David's funeral?
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
She seemed agitated?
I don't know.
Aft port side? I mean, I'm guessing he means on the back, on the left-hand side, but...
I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk.
Yeah, I know what 3 sheets to the wind means, sir. It was heavy?
In simple terms, I've got nothing to say.
Okay, maybe a giant?
That means nothing to me. Yes, Vienna.
What sort of health and safety considerations?
I don't know.
Alright. Don't know why you brought it up then. The coffin was so heavy?
Common or garden rocks? It's actually quite handy sometimes having an archaeological dig going on next door.
What?
Although, I'd rather there wasn't.
Were there rocks in the coffin? And if so, why?
No.
Yeah, you've told me that several times. Not really interested in your take on my aura, sir. Why was the coffin so heavy? Okay, so I don't know why that brought that up, but he's saying there were rocks in the... Was the coffin filled with rocks instead of his body?
That means nothing to me. Yes, Vienna.
It's kind of a leap of logic here, but... What happened to David's body?
Nobody gave me the memo that Claire was telling everybody about our arrangement. Sometimes a few slip out the back for student use too. These things happen in all cemeteries. It's best not to broadcast it.
Well, that wrapped him up. So I think we got to that in a very strange way, but apparently Bryce helped Claire smuggle her husband's body out of the funeral place. Well, he says it's Henley Church, but... Huh. Bryce helped you smuggle your husband's body out?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
Like Bryce. Ooh, we got notes. Well, we actually got the information from him first. I thought it was really weird. Apparently, I should have gotten the information from Claire first, and then went back to Bryce. So, okay. Nevertheless, we now have the information. Try who do you pay?
Try asking me something I might know.
Okay. So that has gotten rid of some of the asterisks here. Still said you killed him has 2.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused.
Alright, trying to use as little as possible, but I'm going to burn a hint here. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. We're supposed to ask about that paper spike. Should just start doing that straight away with each person.
It sounds to me as if Dr. Dekker's murder was a spur-of-the-moment thing. If you were planning to kill someone, you'd bring a weapon with you, wouldn't you? I imagine that the paper spike made a very good weapon, though. It could look quite menacing, glinting in the moonlight.
Really? Didn't Claire always have her sessions with Dr. Dekker in the morning? Yes, why would she say moonlight? Moonlight?
So quick to jump to conclusion, Doctor. Obviously I meant sunlight.
I don't think you did, really. Did you talk to the girl again?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
Caught a fish?
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
You are very creepy, lady. What made you feel so uneasy?
Sorry. I don't know.
Guess that's why you said something.
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
Okay, there's no asterisk there where she said it bit her, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Think, Doctor, think.
Okay, apparently that is not the thing. Maybe bedroom window?
Oh, I found the key. It must have been there all along, in a drawer in the hallway. I could have sworn I'd looked there already.
Alright, I didn't really ask about the key. You looked there already?
I don't know, Doctor.
What do you think happened to the key? Alright, I don't know why the bedroom window triggered dialogue about the key. Maybe we should ask, how is David?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that.
Maybe just David?
Sorry. I don't know.
Alright, well let's go to our old standby and ask about the good doctor.
I'm getting tired of all these questions. I'm getting tired of everything.
David is alive? Yeah, how is he alive?
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
We said zombie, maybe resurrection? If I've spelled that correctly?
I don't know anything about that.
Probably didn't. Yep, there's 2 R's in the middle.
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
You raised him from the dead. How did you raise him from the dead?
David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life, as you'd expect. He was scared. He didn't want me to go near him at first, which is understandable, as I did kill him. But I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but even monosyllabic words were more than what he seemed able to give me.
So was he not embalmed then? Because if he was, how did you bring him back? Holy jeez. Another word that stood out. Necromancer. Okay, so apparently that would have given us this explanation too. Reanimation's more accurate, you say? Alright.
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Maybe evil?
That's not relevant here.
Or holy?
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal.
Or zombie.
So I have a problem.
Yes. Yes, you do have a problem. A very big one.
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
Just how do you want me to help you?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder.
Oh, you're insane, all right.
To lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer.
Yes, you are.
But I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
No, you're definitely a killer. You're a freaking psychopathic killer. It's just you brought your victim back to life. With brain damage. Now you have a zombie for a husband. This may get me killed. Yes, I do think you are a killer.
At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him. I just stabbed him a bit. And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life. Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane?
No, you were not temporarily insane. You are, in fact, permanently insane.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that. Let's have a few more sessions before you seal our fates. Or is it that you want something else? Like Dr. Dekker did?
Want something else?
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my eligibility. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
Is this the same girl you're seeing? And I just realized I've jumped straight from questioning whether all this is real straight into just believing everything these lunatics tell me. The girl at the lake house?
I don't know what you're after, but I don't know anything about that.
What girl?
Try asking me something I might know.
Teasing you about the girl?
That's not relevant here.
Jesus Christ, you just said it, woman. Alright, well, let's listen to it again.
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my eligibility. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
Okay, so I got the thing confused. He wasn't teasing her about the girl, he mentioned the girl. Maybe just what girl?
I don't know anything about that.
He mentioned a girl.
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris.
What? Oh my god.
I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
That's who Bryce freed. The girl in the basement. I know we're Amber here, and we're kind of risking going insane, but I have to know if he knows the girl's name.
The girl who was chained in the basement. Her name is Iris. How do you know that? Not that it means anything. She wouldn't remember me anyway. Time was frozen.
Okay, so we've got confirmation. Not going to push my luck there. All these patients are somehow interlinked. Henley Church is a recurring thing here. Well, Bryce said he freed her, but I'm going to ask this anyway. Dr. Dekker killed Iris?
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped, and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Actually, Bryce freed her. Oh. Maybe Bryce helped Iris.
What? She was actually his prisoner. Bryce saved Iris? So that's 2 favors I owe Bryce now. And Iris? I'd probably have stopped her death if I'd known it was real. I suppose I should have a chat with her now.
No, I don't think you should, actually. No, you should not have a chat with Iris. Oh dear. Well, Iris may die anyway, if Claire comes into contact with her. We are clearing out a few of these. I think we probably, still have 2 asterisks there, which I have no idea on earth how to go about getting rid of. I'm just hoping as we go along that we'll clear them.
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my alleged ability.
Alleged ability?
I'm getting tired of all these questions.
I wonder if she'll see this as teasing. Could you demonstrate your ability for me?
Sorry, I don't know. Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my alleged ability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually.
What changed his mind?
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Absolutely, as long as you don't sick him on me and have him eat my brains.
Very well. In our next session.
Really? Will we really go see David in our next session? Huh. Now we're just back to the same old thing here. You said you killed him.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused.
Let's try this. Yes, I am confused.
He made sounds. I could understand him a bit. I thought he'd improve with time, like a child learning to talk, but he didn't. It's only recently that I've come to that conclusion that he's not going to get better. He's not going to be right again. I think it's his brain. At least he is safe where he is.
I have no idea how confused brought that actual response up. His brain? Nope. He's safe?
At the lake house. He doesn't move from there. For good reason.
Okay, this is kind of trailing off in a line of questions here. He doesn't move?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What I meant to say is that David never leaves the vicinity of the lake house. I think his hunting would be severely restricted by trying to do it from the kitchen window.
Okay. Maybe for good reason?
David shouldn't be alive, so he can't just stroll around the neighborhood. It's unseemly. I did think he'd be able to rejoin society at some point, but not anymore. He's getting worse, not better.
Kind of hilarious to me how in all of this craziness, what you're most concerned about is how everything appears. Oh, we can't have my zombie husband out. He's just so unseemly. So he's getting worse, you say? How so?
Try asking me something I might know.
Alrighty.
David shouldn't be alive, so he can't just stroll around the neighborhood. It's unseemly. I did think he'd be able to rejoin society at some point, but not anymore. He's getting worse, not better.
Maybe we should just ask about unseemly.
Do you see David here? No, Doctor. That would be ridiculous.
Alright, so we've exhausted that, and once again we are still here. Alright, again, I could probably power through this eventually, but in the interest of moving things along, I guess that does speak to actual motive. If she intended to fatally wound him, then it would be murder and not manslaughter.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So I fixed him.
You didn't really fix him, though, did you? And, overreacted is the understatement of the year. Well, that double asterisk is finally gone. So you regretted it immediately?
I don't know what you're after, but I don't know anything about that.
Maybe just regret?
I don't know, Doctor.
Alright, well, you fixed him?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Okay. Here's the thing. I know that I'm coming at some of these at awkward angles because we're getting some of these what feels like out of order. Like, I think we should have gotten, somehow, through questioning, gotten that response before we got into the whole, Bryce helped her smuggle the body and everything, because I was trying to find out how she did this early on. But anyway, the other thing that bothers me here is Dr. Dekker told her she could do this, but then she also says he didn't believe she actually did it. So I don't really get the whole thing there. It seems incongruous, doesn't it? That he would suggest to her that she could will her husband back to life if he'd never been buried. But then when she does it, he doesn't believe she did it and wants her to demonstrate to him. It's almost like there's two Dr. Dekkers, or that Dr. Dekker was controlled at some points or something like that. I don't really know for sure, but I guess we will find out as we press forward.